Vin Diesel's days of playing Dominic Toretto are numbered, but the actor has already found his perfect Fast and Furious replacement. Diesel found a major breakout role in the early 2000s thanks to participating in The Fast and the Furious. The original 2001 street racing crime movie became the springboard for a sprawling franchise that has lasted for over 2 decades. The success of the Fast and Furious movies transformed Vin Diesel's career, turning him into an even bigger star, especially in the action movie genre. But Fast and Furious 11 is planned as the final chapter for him and the franchise. The Fast and Furious franchise's end will put Vin Diesel in an unfamiliar position of not having a major franchise to lean back on. This presents the actor with various options, such as changing the course of his career to pursue non-franchise roles. However, the more likely outcome is that Diesel will attempt to find a new IP that can replace Fast and Furious. He has had trouble in that regard recently, with franchises like XXX or Riddick running cold and Bloodshot and The Last Witch Hunter failing to launch franchises. There is another option for Diesel, though. Kojak can be Vin Diesel's new action crime franchise after Fast and Furious. Diesel has been developing the reboot since 2015. The impending conclusion of the Fast and Furious franchise means it is finally time for Vin Diesel's Kojak reboot to get off the ground. The project was announced back in 2015 with Diesel re-teaming with Universal Pictures, the studio behind Fast and Furious, to develop a movie based on Kojak. The original TV series starred Telly Savalas as Theo Kokage and ran for 3 seasons after debuting in 1973. The series revolves around Kojak, a New York detective known for being willing to go beyond the law and a love for cars and lollipops, and follows him as he investigates different cases. Development on Vin Diesel's Kojak movie has not been very active in the 9 years since it was announced. However, it still maintains the base similarities to Fast and Furious, which makes the project a worthwhile endeavor for Diesel in terms of finding a new action franchise. He would now have another big action series about cars and crime, essentially making Kojak into a newer version of Fast and Furious. The irony here is that Diesel takes on the role of a cop after playing criminal racer Dominic Toretto. Vin Diesel's involvement can morph Kojak into a major action franchise. Kojak could be a Fast and Furious clone. Telly Savalas talking on the phone in Kojak. Looking at the original TV show, Kojak might not necessarily project to be a major blockbuster action franchise akin to Fast and Furious. The TV series was relatively grounded and small due to the nature of its production. However, the fact that Diesel and Universal pinpointed this property as something they wanted to revive together is telling. The announcement of Kojak's reboot came months after Furious 7 debuted in theaters and took the franchise to new heights at the box office and in terms of how ridiculously big the action and story could get. It's sometimes difficult to remember that Fast and Furious started off with a story about DVD thieves who were also street racers before Diesel helped turn it into something much bigger. With that experience and success already behind him, it would be understandable if a similar path was envisioned for Kojak. The series could then morph into a Fast and Furious clone, one that gives Vin Diesel a new franchise to headline and Universal a fresh action franchise to grow.